from a debilitating fear of microphones. You don't have to go it alone. Come to the basement of St. Olaf's Church this Thursday at 5:30 for a support group unlike any other. Microphonophobics United, stand together! Because facing your fears is a must. Must. Which stands for Microphonophobics United, stand together! Get me out of here!
Hey kids, are your parents out of the room?
Hi.
Good, because I want to talk to you about candyforgold.com. At candyforgold.com, we take all your parents' boring old gold and jewelry and send you back bags of delicious candy. But listen, we can't send you the candy unless you send us the gold. So here's what I need you to do. Wait till your mommy and daddy leave the house, sneak into their bedroom, and look through all their drawers. If you see anything made of shiny gold, just grab it. It doesn't even have to be made of gold, just as long as it's shiny. The next part's easy. Just put it all into a properly sealed and stamped box or envelope and mail it to candyforgold.com. And whatever you do, don't tell your parents. They're busy and they don't want to know anything about this. I'm serious. Keep your mouth shut. That's candyforgold.com. Shh. It's our little secret.
This is You Don't Know Jack 2015. I'm your host, Cookie Masterson. And hey, wipe that smile off your face. This is serious. Okay, just kidding. There will be farts and stuff. Hello, you two. Try not to make each other cry, okay? There's your hardware. If you think another player is clueless, screw them and make them answer immediately. If they miss it, you win extra cash. And our wrong answer of the game is sponsored by
the San Francisco Otter Choir. Free concerts every Wednesday, except for mating season.
Pick the wrong answer associated with our sponsor to win a fabulous prize and big cash. Okay, it's time.
Get ready, time for question.
Kicking things off, Bootyful. Let's analyze one of Kim Kardashian's body parts.
What?
About what percentage of Kim Kardashian's brain is just made up of water? 10%, 40%, 80%, or 100%?
I want to say 100, but...
Players 1 and 2. One right answer coming up. Kim Kardashian's brain, and everybody else's brain for that matter, is made up of about 80% water. But that other 20% is just so round and firm, I can't stop thinking about it.
Oh, Mama, gonna tell you what I'm gonna do. Say it.
Try this on for size. His acting is alright.
God damn it.
So, you know how they called Matthew McConaughey's resurgence as an actor his McConaissance? Well, if Matthew McConaughey is currently experiencing a McConaissance, then what period of his life just ended? The McCona Dark Ages, the McCona Industrial Age, the McCona Middle Ages, or the McCona Enlightenment Age? Player 2. All wrong. Player 1. The Renaissance first occurred in Italy in the late 14th century, immediately following the Middle Ages. So the McConaissance would follow the McCona Middle Ages. Which is funny because most Renaissance sculptures also need to put on a damn shirt.
Dance with me, Disco 3.
Say hello to, brought to you by the letter Unibrow.
It's the put the choices into order, then buzz in and see if you are right. Question.
And if you get this one right, I'll rustle up some extra moolah for you. Arrange these Sesame Street characters in order of fewest to most eyebrows. Bert, Ernie, the Count. Ernie. Player 2, you've been screwed. You got 5 seconds. How do you say, no? Way to screw, Player 1. Time to twist the knife. Player 1. Oh, I'm gonna enjoy this. Here's where the money is. Ernie has no eyebrows at all, Bert has one long single eyebrow, and the Count has two eyebrows! And yet, none of them have ever blinked. Let's try Duck, Duck, Swan. Say the cast of Duck Dynasty attends a performance of Swan Lake and thinks there are real waterfowl on stage. In their confusion, which character would they most likely shoot? Siegfried, Benno, von Rothbart? Player one, you've been screwed. You got 5 seconds to pick an answer. Player two, way to screw, baby. Grab a few more bucks, why don't you? Player two. Want to see the right answer? Odette is a princess who has been turned into a swan, so the Duck Dynasty crew would probably fill her full of lead. Especially if they find out she once fooled around with a lady swan in college. Take a good look at the man in the backwards yellow hat, and it's a dis or dat. Player two, you seem to be behind, so why don't you play this dis or dat? I'm going to read off 7 things, and for each one you tell me if it's an alleged antic by pop star Justin Bieber, or an antic by the classic children's book character Curious George. If it's Justin Bieber, press the square button. If it's Curious George, press the circle button. Player one, select your answer before player two, because if you get it right and player two gets it wrong, you get that cash. Alrighty then, here it comes. Peed in a mop bucket. Broke his leg falling from a fire escape. Arrested for falsely reporting a fire. At the house. Got high on ether. Fed a bugle to an ostrich. Went to a Brazilian brothel. You were a couple of bananas short of a bunch. I think we can all agree that it's time for that little bastard to get deported. And then it's your turn, Bieber. That'll wrap up round one. Remember, in round two, every question is worth double. And remember, our wrong answer to the game is still out there waiting to be picked. Okay, let's do this. Here's one for you. Dumber and Dumberer 2. So there's Dumb and Dumber, and then there was Dumb and Dumberer, and then Dumb and Dumber 2. Makes perfect sense. Now, going back a few decades, there was The Odd Couple and The Odd Couple 2. So, if another remake of The Odd Couple used the superlative adjective, it would be called The Blank Couple. Odd, odder, oddest, or odderest. Player one. Now that's just the dumberest answer I ever heard. Smart people choose this. Odd is the adjective, odder is the comparative adjective, and oddest is the superlative adjective. But of course, everyone who made the original Odd Couple movies is dead, which means it's the perfect time for Rob Schneider to swoop in and revitalize the franchise. Player two. No, but speaking of otter, get it? You just won the greatest hits of the San Francisco Otter Choir. Hailed as one of the top 3 otter choirs in the world, the San Francisco Otter Choir will astound you with their covers of Little Red Corvette and The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. This wrong answer of the game has earned you a sweet 8,000 clams. Well done.
Question 7. Get up and shake your monkey bang.
Why not try? Let it go, let it go, let it go. At which temperature would Olaf from the movie Frozen melt and die? 30 degrees Kelvin, 30 degrees Fahrenheit, 30 degrees Celsius, or 30 degrees Rankine? He's a snowman. Player 2. Players 1 and 2. 30 degrees is below freezing in Fahrenheit and insanely below freezing in Kelvin and Rankine. But it's pretty balmy and I know, blah, 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 he can magically be saved, but I'm talking about what would happen in the real world to a talking snowman.
Follow me down to the sea.
Up next, Kangaroo, Peanut, Albert Einstein, or Uranus?
Kangaroo, Peanut, Albert Einstein, or Uranus.
First spotted in 1879. Kangaroo, Peanuts, Albert Einstein, or Uranus? Player 1. Huh? Player 2. That answer has a hole in it. Let me show you something. Albert Einstein was first spotted in 1879, the year he was born, probably by a midwife or something, over a century after Uranus was discovered and even longer after kangaroos and peanuts. I've heard baby Einstein cried a lot because he left behind some important equations on the uterine wall. Take a stab at wine or lose. If the Washington Redskins rebranded themselves with a non-offensive red-skinned mascot, what could they be called? The Washington Chardonnays, the Washington Malbecs, the Washington Pinot Blancs, or the Washington Rieslings? Player 1. Player 2.
Swing and a miss.
Next time, try this. Chardonnays, Pinot Blancs, and Rieslings are all white-skinned grapes, but the Malbec grape is red. Although to a connoisseur like myself, Malbec is very offensive. Oh yes, I do say that was quite a burn. Coming up next, I want to lick and roll all night. If Kiss singer Gene Simmons' tongue grew to the average length of an adult giraffe's, how deep into a woman's mouth could he stick it when he kissed her? About 5 inches deep, about 10 inches deep, about 20 inches deep, or about 30 inches deep? Player 1. Wait for it. Wait for it. Player 2. An adult giraffe's tongue is on average about 18 to 20 inches long. So that's about how deep into a woman's mouth a giraffe-tongued Gene Simmons could stick it. And if Gene Simmons' neck grew to the length of an adult giraffe's, he may not even need women anymore. Brace yourself for the attack. When you see two clues that match, press the X button. 2,000 big ones if you're right, 2,000 gone if you're wrong. And don't forget,
remember the clue.
It's gotta be a match that fits this clue. Your house is made of what? What materials are their houses made from? Good luck. It's player 2! Player 1, it's not that you lost to player 2 in such a devastating manner. It's not that you can never show your face around here again. Let's just say that...
You don't know Jack!
No matter who you are, you have dreams.
I want to be an astronaut.
I want to be a doctor.
A dinosaur.
And Angie's Ice Creamery wants to hear them. Come into any Angie's to tell us your dream, and you'll get a dreamsicle absolutely free.
I want to be a teacher.
Here's a free dreamsicle.
I want to be a surfer.
Here's a free dreamsicle.
I want to be best friends with a horse.
Here's...
Okay, we are on.
Let's see what the other ones are, yeah. Cause I've never touched the other ones. Fibbage. And no viewers. So I think we're okay.
Welcome to the game. I'm Cookie, and I can't wait to find out if you're better liars than all of my exes. Okay, great. Table for two. Let's do this. This is round one, and that means you get 500 points for fooling your opponent with your made-up answer. And you'll get 1,000 for finding the truth. All right, pick a category. Well, we ain't waiting forever. Okay, here's your first question. Instead of having guard dogs, police in rural parts of China's Xinjiang province use blank. Now, use your device to enter a bluff that you think will fool your opponent into thinking it's true. If you can't think of anything in time, use the Lie For Me button for half the points. Do it now. Okay, here are your choices. Find the truth and touch it on your device. All right, let's see what everybody picked. And look what we have here. Yeah, you think it's funny, and then one day you get tased by a goose. And that means this lie didn't get picked.
Oh, he's taking out 500.
Yeah.
Points all around.
Points for everybody. Ducks and pigs.
Select a category. Okay, here's the question. It's time for a road trip. When in Lafayette, Louisiana, be sure to check out their somewhat erotic statue of a shirtless blank. Type in your lies now. Okay, which one's the truth? Okay, what did everyone pick? guys blew it.
I was gonna pick fireman. I should've.
If somewhat erotic isn't your speed, check out the pantsless firefighter statue one town over. And look at what we have left. One single, lonely, pitiful lie.
Crash test dummy. It was an auto.
Time to pick a category. Okay, here's the question. Coca-Cola once commissioned a video game from Atari called Pepsi Blank. Enter your lies now. Okay, here you go. Find the truth. Okay, let's take a look. And nobody fell for some of these ingenious lies.
Pepsi Man's a good. Pepsi Man's a real game. It's based on Pepsi.
It turns into Pepsi Man.
Yeah, but Pepsi Man's a real game. It has a
This is round 2, which means all point values are doubled. Exciting. Select a category.
I'm afraid to see what we get for this one.
Okay, here's the question. A man in Florida was arrested for calling 911 to complain that he wasn't allowed to bring his blank into a strip club. Type in your lies now. All right, where's the truth? Let's see what everybody selected. Well, don't you feel foolish?
I was gonna type cat.
And nobody fell for this one.
I wonder if I type cat. Like,
all right, pick a category. Okay, here's the question. According to a University of Barcelona study, surprisingly, 5% of people have absolutely no emotional response when they blank. Enter your lies now. Okay, here are your choices.
What's wrong? What is absolutely wrong?
All right, who picked what? Which means they just haven't listened to Celine Dion yet. And that means...
Both of our lives are not
It's broken.
Select a category.
What?
Okay, here's the question. George Frankel is the CEO of a Georgia-based company that will turn your dead relative's ashes into blank. Type in your lies now. Hurry up, use a suggestion if you can't think of anything. All right, where's the truth? Okay, what did everyone pick? Well, you guys blew it. It's part 1 of the 5 stages of Reef. And we're done. Welcome to the final fibbage. This is your final question, and it's worth triple. It's anybody's game. Here's your final fibbage question. Wilma Flintstone's maiden name.
Oh, God.
Enter your lies now. Okay, which one's the truth? All right, let's see what everybody picked. Yeah, she was only 30,000 years away from being progressive enough to hyphenate her name to Wilma Slaghoople Flintstone. And we're done.
Explore some potential streaming capabilities. Oh yeah. By signing to Mabinerd. What's the period? Very beginning, you say. Right, now I type the part of the word. I have no idea. Hey. Five. You know what's really odd? Bedtime out of the... Put all this together. Drugs kill you. I see a help down there. Type like random things. The Matrix. Let's play those. Will this ever end? No! What the fuck? I just didn't type bad. Playing through the Bears. I don't watch this. I've heard it's okay. Trust the guy who wears a choker. Mad dislikes this. Is your brain on drugs? Kill me living. The Matrix. Fake news. Team 7. Too bad. News bears. Oh, my car broke my dick. Jesus!
This could be very interesting.
That could be pure and utter chaos.
We need more people.
We gotta get this on the Mabinerd and stream it.
Hey, log in.
What I should do is just send the link.